5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Power to the people. Power to the people. Power.
A beacon of hope, I'm blowing out smoke. I'm getting high, writing rhymes with my head to the sky. I'm clapping at birds and giving praise. And you'll be amazed at what's displayed when the beat's played. Hey yo, this rhyme slays. Any rapper's irrelevant rant. This is your last chance. This is the change you've been waiting for, anticipating for. The metaphor is physical. This is why you did endure the hardship and tribulation, racism, humiliation. How can they shit on the people who truly built this nation? And I'm debating what I should bring: the axe, the ox, the beast, the dragon, or the battle cat. This ain't no battle rap. I had to leave that ghetto crap and tell the ghetto fags that being ghetto should lead to positive acts. This is the poem to tell the people who push that we gon' push back. Power to the people.
Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Cold hands and freezing feet across the heartbeat like a simple loop on the NPC drum machines. Eyes wide open like a hook, looking to hunt his opponent. What a jerk, like scavengers, warfare the world want us to be. But I'm Egyptian, originally black, not white. Slavery exists in my today, I know my past life. Not looking for money and jewels, just freedom to breathe and rights to choose. Hate is a myth, stop the evil from heaven, it's freedom and be stiff. Cause hip-hop is in him ever since he was born. My physical training was the main aim and the goal. The discrimination turned his physical dreams into a lyrical war. So let me tell you, you and your, we should believe, love, dream, submit, commit, should fight and achieve the free human rights from the underground prison hell. And be aware, Rastafari movement is international. UNITED, RPM, Run DMC, Joker Screw, your ass, Pak Shakur. Most deaf here was one. Anwar Sadat, Yasser Arafat, Abdel Nasser, Luther King, or Malcolm X. These are who we are, representing on the streets. Cause positivity is the first step of peace. So get off your knees and let me hear you say, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people. The hood niggas in me can't escape from him, cause he grew up with me, cause he grew up in me. I know you still didn't meet the love of future husband you wish to have in me, you wish to have in me. I write you a poem to inspire your soul with my greatness. I mix my ink with the flower oil so you feel love of nature. To prove you're unreal, you need to understand my people need me. Cause the hood nigga learned love from his people. That's why the love of kind of nigga you need has hard time breathing. Yeah, don't get it twisted, this is unconditional love, believe me. Power to the people. Power to the people, power, 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 power to the people, people.
Thank you very much. Amanla, the power of unity, the power of love that brings us here today. It is my pleasure to introduce a person who I see as a total human being, a person who understands the meaning of Amanla, the power of unity, and the power of love, a man who ran for mayor in Chicago, a man who should be the president of this country. I want to introduce to you Dick Gregory.
And we'd like to say Brother Mel King, thank you, and to all of you, thank you very much. You know, at one time in the United States, for someone to say you should be the president was a thrill and an honor. But to look around at all the mess that's going on now, anybody could be president now, and it would be better than all this craziness that we've been looking at lately. The nuclear plant blows up in 3 Mile Island, and they lied to us for 3 days. And then to help the trick, President Carter and his wife goes in the plant to prove that everything's safe. And I thought that was a pretty good gesture if it was them. But when they said that's the president and his wife in the nuclear plant, I felt if it's so safe, how come you didn't take that little girl with you? It's like at the height of that 3 Mile Island mess, they told us, well, okay, don't worry about the radiation. We got a bigger problem now. I said, what's that? I said, we worrying about this hydrogen bubble. I said, well, damn, I didn't know that was in the plant. They said, we'll know in 3 days. And 3 days later, they said, everything's cool. The hydrogen bubble disappeared. And I keep asking the same question, where did the hydrogen go? And I don't want them to explain it to me in no Harvard, Yale, MIT, Howard University scientific mentality. I want you to explain it to me in pure, simple, great-great-grandma, can't read, can't write, nigger logics. Where did the hydrogen go? I mean, you understand what I mean? I mean, you know, like, you ever blow up a balloon and then tie it and leave it on the dresser and then go out the house and come back and the balloon is flat? The air didn't disappear, it's in the room with you. So I want to know, where did the hydrogen go? And lastly, let me tell you of a great experience I had last September when I was with Muhammad Ali, when he was getting ready for that last fight with Leon Spinks, and I was putting a little nutrition thing together for him. And the thrill of being with Ali is I got to speak with Leon Spinks. And I asked Leon a simple question: how come you can't get no driver's license? And his manager said, I'm glad you asked that. And I said, why? He said, because I want to explain to you about that drug bust with Leon Spinks in St. Louis. I said, don't give me that. I mean, I cannot handle that drug bust. That boggles the human mind. And normally I can figure out anything. But I cannot figure out the drug bust with Leon Spinks. Have you all figured out why the president fired all his cabinet folks? Have you figured that out? That's simple. He fired all the cabinet people on Thursday, right? The biggest news that ever broke in the history of this country was on Wednesday, when the Senate Select Congressional Committee said that John Fitzgerald Kennedy and Martin Luther King was killed by a conspiracy. And the only way we could wipe them headlines off the face of this earth was for Carter to do what he did the next day, and it worked. So you don't have to be too smart to figure that out. I mean, out of all the things white folks have problems with, they do know how to fire folks discreetly. So like I said, I can figure all that out. What I can't figure out is that drug bust with Leon Spinks. Now, the St. Louis police said that Leon had the dope in his hat. Leon Spinks said the white police put the dope in his hat. Now, I don't have no problems with that. Because, you see, there are some white police that would put some dope in a nigger's hat. And there's some niggas that would have some dope in their hat. See, I don't have no problem with that. The problem starts, the St. Louis police said it was $1.98 worth of cocaine and reefer. And that just blows me out. Because I don't know no self-respecting white cop that would frame a nigga with $1.85 worth of coke. And I don't know no self-respecting coke snorter that would save that small amount. I mean, think about that. I mean, think about that. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, do you realize $1.85 worth of coke has never been seen with the naked eye? Do you realize cocaine is the most expensive high on this planet? That is $85 per snort per nostril. And that's provided you got them little bitty white noses. You got them Leon Spinks gaps, you can kiss it goodbye then. I mean, think about that. Leon Spinks take one good snort and he had wiped out all the cocaine in Peru. Let me say to all of you that's here for this fantastic, beautiful occasion, let me personally say thanks to you, to each and every one of you. And I can't tell you how good I feel as I stand here and look at you out there. And I just hope that when you leave here, you won't leave here just on an entertainment high, but you will leave here and take what this affair is about today, because none of us on the stage have to look for another place to entertain, but we go out of our way to find people that want to come together to talk about unity, to talk about love, to talk about peace, to talk about respect for one another as human beings. And that's what this is all about today. That's what this is all about today. And that's what you're here for. And that's what you are a part of. And I say when you leave here, take it with you. And that's what's going to turn the world around. A sick, insane, degenerate political network around the world that's manipulated by a handful of evil, sick, slimy, degenerate men will never be any good. And there's nothing on this planet Earth that you can invent, like a gun or a missile or a rays or atomic energy, that scare them, because they can deal with all of it. The one thing they cannot deal with is what you're doing here today. There's not a Pentagon on this planet that can stop what we are about today. Because when we talk about unity and talk about love and talk about peace and talk about respect, that transcends all the things that evil people can put together. And that's what it's about. It's about South Africa, but South Africa to you should start right here within your own self. We must work. First, we got to admit that we racist. First, we got to admit that we sexist. First, we got to admit that we don't give a damn about poor people and sick people and minority people. Once we start admitting that, then we can start changing it. It's a beautiful thing for us to look to our brothers and sisters in South Africa and say, we care about you, but don't forget these Indian brothers and sisters in America who we stole this damn country for. We must care about them too.
Amanda, power to the people. Welcome to the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network presentation of I Found My Voice. This is Ahmad Aman Mansour, Ali El Bey. Welcome everybody, get out the evening. We are here today on this Thursday afternoon. And well, let me just start by saying that I was at that concert. I got to see one of Bob Marley's last concerts. Well, if I could see at that time, I don't know. I was a baby. I was about 1 year old. I was born in 1979, so I may not even have been one yet. But I was there because my father was there, my mom was there. So can't tell you how the concert went, but I could definitely tell you I was there. I made history. So Udamar Kiur, Grand Rising, everybody. Makakubu, how you doing? Unmute your mic and let us know how you're feeling.
Udamar Kiur, can you hear me? How's my audio? Can you hear me? Udamar Kiur, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Udamar Kiur, I'm fine. Yes, and that is a very significant event that was held in 1979. And this production is not only dedicated to the people that organized the event, to the ascended who were there, including Dick Gregory, but this production is a commentary on the backstory as well. And the beginning of that concert, during Dick Gregory's speaking, you saw a number of individuals walking to the base of the stage. At the base of the stage, they were coming to see me. And the issue was that grassy area that you saw was a buffer zone. You saw the crowd, over 8,000 people attended that concert, Harvard University football stadium. And that buffer zone was designed on the football field to block off with a chain link fence. The crowd was on the field itself. And that buffer zone was designed to prevent people from being in that area until Bob Marley performed. He was the last performer. Bob Marley, Patti LaBelle, Olatunji, Eddie Palmieri, including Dick Gregory, as you saw, a group from England and a group from Boston. And that concert was to raise money for the liberation in Zimbabwe. It was part of the Azania National People's Party and the Zimbabwe African National Union. Years later, decades later, I met a brother from Zimbabwe who was a doctor. He came into the African American Media Network studios for an interview. And while he was talking with me, I asked him where he was from, and he said he was from Zimbabwe. I said, oh, well, we did the Amandla concert in 1979, Harvard University football stadium for Zimbabwe and Mona Motapa, Azania, South Africa. He looked at me and said, I was at that concert. I said, you were? He said, yes. That concert, the people that organized that concert, myself included, I was the lead security consultant at that concert. So that buffer zone was designed to keep people from getting close to the stage. Several months ago, they had an incident down here in the United States in Florida, where a crowd surged to get close to the stage, and over 10 people got trampled, several died. 1979, we had the foresight to know that that could happen. And that's why that chain link fence was up. So you see those Rastas rushing to the stage to see me. What had happened was Rita Marley came into that area with a lawn chair and a picnic basket. And I asked one of my security personnel, my security assignment was twofold. First, I was to recruit and train 30 individuals from Long Island, Wyandanch, to come and participate in providing security for the entertainers to be escorted to and from the stage and provide security for the stage with my security personnel, the 30 personnel that I brought up, and three vans. And Ahmad was the youngest occupant of the van. Ahmad was born, what's your birthday, Ahmad?
May 7th.
Ahmad, can you hear me?
Yeah, it was May 7th.
You on mute?
No.
What's your birthday?
May 7th.
What year?
79.
1979, May 7th. So he was just born. This concert was July 21st. So he was barely 2 months old, barely 3 months old at the concert. And that area, when I saw that there was a person on the lawn chair in that area, I asked my colleague who was with me, one of my security personnel, I said, Buford, who's that? He said, I don't know. I said, go find out, please. He went and found out and came back and told me that's Vita Marley. I told him to go tell the Rastas that she got to move. And when he told the Rastas that, they got angry. That's why you saw a bunch of them coming to see me at the bottom of the stage, at the base of the stage. So they're standing there arguing with me why she can't move. And I said, if she doesn't move, I realized I was one of the main organizers of the concert. The concert was organized by the Haymarket People's Fund in Boston, Massachusetts. My second assignment was to develop the training format for the 300 volunteer security personnel known as the People's Security. The People's Security. So the training format and the 30 personnel securities that I brought up was my responsibility as the lead security consultant. At the time, I was also working as a private investigator with Allen's Investigative Agency, providing security for Wyandanch School District as one of the first people in the state of New York, if not the country, to develop and provide a security mechanism for in school because of the nature of the discipline problems in Wyandanch School District. So when the Rastas got to the bottom of the stage and they were confronting me and telling me that she can't move because she's Vita Marley, I told them the concert won't start until she moves. And they realized then that they had no choice. So she moved, they moved her. You also saw them lining up in that area because now they realized that this was a security precaution. And you saw them lining up. And if you know my walk, you saw me walking in front of them, inspecting them as they were lined up. Ahmad, I want to find a picture right quick. So give a little commentary on what you just heard and put that into context of what you're doing in Brazil while I find this picture. And I want to send it to you to bring it up.
Okay. Well, yeah, that kind of segues into a lot about what I do and who I am. I mean, speaking, we spoke about Wyandanch and the problem, different disciplinary problems that were going on in the Wyandanch school. I worked in Wyandanch High School for a little while. I come back from California and I went there to go on a job interview. The day I go on a job interview, all hell breaks out in the school, and there are fights all over the school and it's damn near a riot. So my job interview was me going around breaking up all these fights. I think I might have broken up about 5 fights that day. So needless to say, I got the job. So, you know, I've always been in security. I did security in my junior high school, you know, for a couple of shows. So that was always a part of it. And then segueing into Leadership 2000, the Nubian Algonquin Cultural Arts Center, and all of that growing up, it actually helped me develop, you know, Guerreiros da Luz, you know, which I do now here in Brazil. Well, basically, I just teach kids how to teach kids martial arts. I teach them meditation. I teach them laws of attraction. They get music classes, basically an after school program. But we teach them, you know, how to be responsible adults, how to be leaders, you know, Leadership 2000, you know, how to be, you know, leaders in their community, leaders of themselves, you know, stuff like that. And it all comes from, you know, the influence of my dad, you know, what he did and the places that he led me, you know, when he, you know, where he would take me, you know, where he would, what things he would make me do. When I was a kid, you know, teaching other kids wasn't my my idea of fun. But as an adult, I realize now that teaching kids actually helped me find, you know, my purpose in what I do now. So it's an amazing thing how it all worked out.
Udmar Kiora. Yes, bring up that first picture that I sent you in the email.
I was about to play Guerreiros da Luz. I didn't know how much time.
Oh, go ahead. Show Guerreiros da Luz. That's fine.
Okay.
What if we took these kids and these kids and let them interact together? What if we did that with kids from all over the world? I think we can make the world a better place. Guerreiros da Luz is an organization that wants to do exactly that. This organization, the idea for this organization started in 1998 when I was asked to represent the United States in a capoeira tournament in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. While I was there, I met a group of 6 kids who were homeless and living on the streets. Once they met me, they were stuck at my side, always asking questions and always happy. This really changed my life. Ever since then, I've dedicated my life to try and make this experience somebody else's experience as well. What we plan to do with Guerreiros da Luz is take kids from New York, LA, Africa, Japan, all over the world, and bring them in small groups of kids to interact with other groups of kids. The headquarters is going to be on Morro de Sao Paulo, Brazil. Morro de Sao Paulo is a little island off the coast of Bahia. It's full of nature, not a whole lot of media influence. It's a great place for kids to be kids, interact with life and each other. This fundraiser is to raise money with your contributions to build the headquarters, the world headquarters on Morro de Sao Paulo. This past summer, we were donated a plot of land on the island that has already been cleared to build this cultural center. Now it's time to take the next step and actually start the building process. We have a team of people that are working with us. We have architects, we have engineers, we have teachers, and if you put all of our experience together working with kids, we have over 60 years of experience. This is a great project. It's a world unity project, and it's something that we can all get together and help and share and do our part to change the planet, to change the world, because the children are the future, and we need to do something to make sure that they have a future to take care of.
So yeah, all that starting, you know, from before 1979 actually led up to Guerreiros da Luz. Right now, because of the pandemic, you know, things have slowed down. Kids haven't come back from vacation yet, and we're still working on rebuilding what's left of the cultural center because of weather damage and lack of maintenance. But you know, we haven't stopped. We don't stop. It's just some bumps in the road, a few obstacles, make the story better. See if I can find this picture.
Yeah, bring that picture up, Udumaki. And I just want to say, while you're looking for that picture, it's the first. I sent you 3 emails.
Okay.
The first one, which says picture. The second one says 2 pictures, and the third one says state troopers. So bring the first picture up.
Okay.
Film, sir. I got to realize a very good friend of mine passed away long after the concert, Kwame Olatunji. Kwame was the son of Babatunde, and Babatunde Olatunji and I were good friends. Kwame's mother, Queen Mother Amy Bell Olatunji, lives in Brooklyn now, and she has been a very good friend of mine as well. And in 2004, I had the honor of granting her as a Queen Mother. She was a Queen Mother already, but I had the opportunity of doing my own production, the honoring the, yes, that picture. Queen Mother Award to honor our elder mother. That is a picture of my daughter, Crystal, and that's baby Ahmad. And that picture was taken on Saturdays. I used to have my martial arts class because the people that I was training in the martial arts was the security personnel that traveled with me up to Boston. And after that concert, we had a major festival, 3-day feast in my yard, and Kwame Olatunji, along with some of the other people from the People's Security and the organizers of the event itself, came and enjoyed the feast. I was working also during that summer period as security personnel for the town of Babylon at the pool. So between the pool and the backyard, we had 3 days of a after party, if you will, the following week after the festival. However, there's a major backstory to that festival. Again, that's the picture of Lil Lamad and Crystal on one of the Saturdays that we did the training prior to going up to Boston. Ahmad, you want to pull up the next email, please, that says 2 pictures?
Okay.
And show the first picture. So I want people to realize that that concert was not just a feel-good concert. You saw 18,000 people plus. Okay. Bring it back down so we can see the faces. There you go. In the middle is Chris King. To Chris's left is Felipe Noguera. And to Chris's right, that's me. In the back, you see the green van. That's one of the vans we took up. We took 3 vans of people up to Boston. This picture was taken down here in Georgia, off of Mullen Avenue, at my partner's house, Phil G. Phil G and I met at Albany State University, upstate New York, in 1968. And he and I have been tight ever since. Felipe, I met him at one of the training, I used to train during the week and on Saturdays. And one of the days during the week, Felipe, I met him as a result of my sister. She and her boyfriend came by one of my training in the backyard. We used to train outside. We never trained really inside. My dojo is the earth. So Felipe, my sister brought one of Felipe's students that he was training to one of my training sessions. And while I was talking to the brother, he said, well, he trains in jiu-jitsu as well. So I'm a jiu-jitsu martial art. In jiu-jitsu, karate, taekwondo, kyokushinkai, tai chi, and other martial arts forms. Owaza jiu-jitsu, ninjutsu with Professor Ron Duncan, Sanuka-Ryu Jiu-Jitsu with Grandmaster, Supreme Grandmaster Moses Powell. So when he told me that he trained in Jiu-Jitsu, I became very curious because this was on Long Island, and I never really knew any people that trained in Jiu-Jitsu aside from the Sanuka's people. So he said he trained in Bay Shore on Long Island. So I said, I'd like to meet your instructor. So he brought his instructor over to one of our training sessions, and Felipe and I became very good friends. And Felipe said to me, well, you need to work with us on this project that we're doing. I said, okay. Subsequent to that invitation, I started going to Boston for the meetings. And the meetings, there were a lot of people. I mean, 50 to 100 people. And one of the meetings, I'm sitting in the group. Felipe is at the table with some of the other leaders in the group. And the people that organized the People's Security, which is the volunteer security force of over 300 people, there were 6 of us that were in charge of training that volunteer group. There were other people that were organizing from the administrative standpoint of the concert, but from the security training, there were 6 of us. No, I believe it was 7. The 3 people you see there now, Kenny, a brilliant Kung Fu martial artist, Scotty, another brilliant Kung Fu martial artist, Dick, another one of the people that was responsible for the People's Security as an organizer of over 300 people, and Jan. Jan, both Dick and Jan were Caucasian people. Jan and Chris, now I want you to listen to this story. Chris is in the middle there. Jan and Chris met while they were in the penitentiary. Chris was in the penitentiary for robbing banks. Jan, a Caucasian brother, was in the penitentiary for trying to blow up a police station with a Molotov cocktail, and he blew the tips of his fingers off.
Wow.
They met in the penitentiary. They told me that story themselves. Both Chris and Jan came to the feast after the concert. Felipe was there. Kwame Olatunji came. And a number of other people came as well. So in any event, you got Chris, Jan, myself, Felipe, Kenny, Scotty, Dick, 7 of us as the head of the security personnel. So at this one meeting, one of the girls, somebody, to give their name and address on a sheet of paper that was going around so they could compile a list of all the attendees. I want you to hear this very clearly. The Spirit told me, do not give your name to anybody but Felipe. So I didn't put my name on the list. Concert is held. After the concert, the next year, I get a call from Felipe and Chris. Yo, Furman. That's my given name. I hadn't made my legal name Makakuvu legal yet, but I was using it from time to time because Makakuvu was a name that was revealed to me as my spiritual name in 1968 when I was in college up at Albany State University, upstate New York, running with Phil. And the Spirit revealed that spiritual name to me after it gave me the tongue, Udama Akayu, line of the new dawn. The line is our consciousness. The new dawn is the resurrection of our consciousness, Udama Akayu, the vibratory frequency of spiritual liberation. So in any event, they give me a call and they want to take a trip. That's why the van is there. We on our way down to Alabama, to Epps, Alabama, to the Federation of Southern Cooperatives. So when they told me they wanted to hire me so we could drive down to Epps, Alabama to meet with the Federation of Southern Cooperatives, I was already familiar with the Federation of Southern Cooperatives because in 1971, I was working on the campus of Union College in Schenectady after I had quit college. I was working on the campus of Union College with an organization that provided technical assistance, volunteer technical assistance on a domestic level and on an international level. The name of the organization was Volunteers for International Technical Assistance, VITA. I was one of the technical assistance consultants that organized the delivery of technical assistance to organizations, nonprofit organizations that required assistance for various reasons. And I was familiar with the Federation of Southern Cooperatives and their director, John Zippert, because I was a consulting service coordinator that was responsible for providing a project of technical assistance delivery to the Federation of Southern Cooperatives and John Zippert in Epps, Alabama. So now here it is, 1980, 10 years later, I'm driving down with Felipe. Bring that other picture up, the second picture in that email, Amar, please. We're driving down to Epps, Alabama. We stop in Atlanta, Georgia, spend the night at Phil's. And is that it?
No, it's two of the same picture. The other picture didn't show up.
All right.
Let me see.
I got to find that other picture because that other picture.
This is State Trooper.
Yeah, don't bring that up just yet. Don't bring that up just yet. Let me send you this other picture. Give me a moment, please. The other picture as well. Give a little commentary right now while I'm finding this picture, please.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely interesting out there. You know, I wish I wasn't old enough to know any of this stuff. You know, that I was there. So it's an interesting story and a you know great myology. Something that's worth knowing because it tells a lot of your story and you know who you are. So that's always necessary for me as you know as your son to know where your point of views come from in your trajectory that got you to the point where you are. So that's always an interesting thing to hear your stories as I'm sure when my kids hear mine, they're always like, wide-eyed. And they're like, wow. So yeah, I can definitely understand that.
Well, bring the other picture up because it's gonna put a smile on your face.
Let's see if it showed up.
In the meantime, so we're headed down to Epps, Alabama. We stop in Atlanta, Georgia. I told you it was gonna bring a smile to your face. Bring that picture up.
Yeah. Here it is. Okay.
So we're headed down to Epps, Alabama. And that picture there, that's Amar's mother.
She still look the same.
That's Amar's mother. We're headed down to Epps, Alabama, to the Federation of Southern Cooperatives. Now that's a farm. That's a huge farm down there. And we get down there and our host, John Zipper, assigns to us an individual to take us around and show us around and meet with us, etc. On one of the days that we're there, that individual takes us out into the field, way out in the field, and we got some rifles with us, 30-06 rifles, and we out there shooting off these rounds. And next thing I know, me and the brother, we out in front of Chris and Felipe. We out in the front. And behind us, we hear, now we got the rifles, but behind us, we hear pop, 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 small arms fire. And I turn around and I see Chris and Felipe shooting off 9mm. So I asked the brother, I said, yo, man, did you get him those pistols? He says, no. Now, I want you to realize that we drove from New York to DC, picked up some other people in DC, into Virginia where the van broke down. We had to spend the night in the hotel while the van got fixed, to Atlanta, Georgia, spent a couple of nights there resting, on to Epps, Alabama. When they called me to do this, they said, yo, man, listen, we want you to bring the weed. So I get up a 1/4 pound of reefer. On the way down, we smoking weed. We smoking weed all the way down. We get down there to Epps, Alabama, and these guys pull out these 9mm. So I asked the brother, I said, did you give them those guns? He said, no. So I didn't say nothing. I waited till we got back to where we were staying, and the brother left. And this is important, people, because the rest of what I'm gonna share with you, it gets deeper. It gets real deep. So now, we get back to where we were staying in Epps, Alabama. The brother goes back to where he lives. And I asked Chris and Felipe, where did they get those guns? Their answer to me was, we don't go nowhere without our pistols. I'm like, okay. At that point, that's when the argument started. My premise was, I said, look, if that was the case, first of all, you should have told me you was carrying weapons, because we wouldn't have been smoking no reefer coming down. Because if we had gotten stopped, we're looking at a number of charges: interstate transportation of drugs, interstate transportation of weapons. We going to jail. Not only are we going to jail, but we just did a major international fundraising concert. Now I'm gonna tell you folks, if we had done that concert today, we'd have been classified as terrorists. If we had done that concert today, raising money for a liberation struggle, we'd have been called terrorists. Yeah. We'd have been arrested and jailed. But the story don't end here, folks. That started the conversation. It was a heated conversation. We argued from Elks, Alabama, back to Atlanta, Georgia, from Atlanta, Georgia, back to Virginia, because the van broke down again. Overnight, we staying. We argue from Virginia back to DC, from DC back to New York. We argue because my premise was you put everybody in jeopardy.
Yep.
You put everybody in jeopardy. And if we had gotten busted, they would have kicked in everybody's door up in Boston. Okay? So now, story gets deeper, people. Story gets deeper. Now, Ahmad's mother and I, we take a trip down to New Orleans. On the way back, we rented a car. On the way back, we stopped in Pennsylvania to a country store. Now when I say country store, I mean nails in a wooden wheelbarrow. The columns in the store lined with wood. And on the column, on one of the columns, there was a wanted poster. Listen to me carefully, people. A wanted poster. So I'm looking at this wanted poster, and I called Sharon, Ahmad's mother, over. I said, Sharon, who does that look like? She said, that looks like Dick. I said, yeah. Let's get out of here before they realize we know who that is. Because we was in Crackertown, Pennsylvania. All right? So we leave. Fast forward. I'm in New York, on Long Island in Wyandanch, laying on the bed, relaxing, because I just smoked me some weed. And I hear this story. About Chris and Yon. I'm watching the news, but I was laying on the bed with my eyes closed, listening to the news. This is when TBS, Turner Broadcasting, first started doing the news broadcasts. All right? TBS, Turner Broadcasting, Ted Turner. I'm watching his first shows. And I hear the story of Chris and Yon. Chris in jail because he was robbing banks. And Yon in jail because he was trying to blow up a police station with a Molotov cocktail, and he blew the tips of his fingers. Okay? That's, when I heard that story, I sat straight up.
Wow.
Yeah, because I knew who they was talking about. Because they were friends of mine. I knew them. I know them. I look at the television screen and I see Chris. Chris got more chains on him than Kuta Kinte. Okay? That's how many chains he had on him. The argument we had about driving with weapons and drugs was the same reason that they got stopped.
Wow.
They was in Massachusetts overnight driving. They had pulled into a rest area at night. The police pulled up on them, checking the vehicle, checking them out. And Yon gets out the car, okay, and fires off several rounds at the cops and gets away. Okay? He gets away. Chris gets arrested. He's been in jail ever since.
Wow.
Ever since. Yon gets away. Pull up that other picture now. Of the police officer. State trooper, yeah, that picture. Pull that up. Now, this is where the story gets real deep, folks. That is police officer, New Jersey State Trooper, Philip LaMonaco. Philip LaMonaco. Yon and Chris were wanted for questioning in his death. He was killed on Interstate 80. He was shot 9 times. The wanted poster for Dick Richard Williams was because he was the trigger man.
Huh.
Okay? He was the trigger man. He was the one that shot Officer Philip DeMonico. Now, I'm not doing this production to glorify that event. I'm doing this production so people realize that the path that has been traveled is a path that has twists and turns. And this gets even deeper, people, because when Jan got away, he connected with Dick because Dick was on the run still. He was on the run. Ahmad, give us some commentary, please.
Okay. So yeah, this is definitely interesting. You know, we can say the story. The story also always has twists and turns. You know, and ups and downs. Everybody's story isn't all roses and you know, and rainbows. You know, even me, you know, coming from Brooklyn, you know, I have some crazy stories that, you know, I wasn't, well, no, actually, you know, I don't know anybody that ever killed a cop, but I, you know, growing up in the projects, I know people who have shot people who have been shot. You know, I used to run around with gangs. You know, I was one of the only non-Latin gang members in the largest Latin gang in the United States. You know, so, you know, things come and go in our lives to, you know, make you who you are, make you think, to create the character that you are, that you become. And, you know, those are just things that just happen. You know, you can't ever say if they're good or bad because, you know, the laws of the universe says you can't judge anything because everything has its purpose. Your life directly and directly in other people's lives and indirectly. We'll never know the reason for the things that happen and why they happen or when they happen, but we know that they happen, you know? So it's definitely an interesting story. This is something that we made a movie out
of. You don't know what you just said, brother. In any event, pull up the second email. The first email says second email, but pull up the one that doesn't have a subject. Pull that up, please. Jan and Dick. Jan got away and hooked up with Dick, Richard Williams.
The one that says no subject is the one with you and my mom and Jan and Dick.
No, I just sent you one that has no subject too. So Jan hooked up with Dick and some of the other people that were part of the people's security, some of the women. Now, after the concert, there was a party. And I didn't go to the party. Sharon went, but I stayed with the children because I wasn't going to let nobody babysit for my 2-month-old son and my little daughter, Crystal, that weekend because I didn't know nobody.
Yeah. You talk about the one, the email with the link? Talk about the email with the
pull that up.
Okay, I won't be able to open the link itself. I mean the site itself, but I can get to the Google part.
Okay, you do the Google. Okay. If you can.
Yeah. Google search.
Okay, let me see what comes up. All right. That's Jan, people. That's Jan Lehman. He was born in Estonia. He spent 37 years in jail for attempted murder of the police officer. You see there, he says, he was a member of the United Freedom Front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? These people were fighting on our behalf. On our behalf. They did that concert for us. They did that concert for people of color. Just like many of you have heard me talk about Zulu King Frickson. Zulu King Frickson has brought to us many people from the continent of Africa. He's part of the Universal Zulu Nation. He loves our people as much as our people love each other. So don't ever come to me and say to me, well, he's a white boy. He's our brother. Just like John, the People's Security, over 300 volunteer security, 90% of them were Caucasian. You saw that the crowd, 90% of the crowd were Caucasian up in Boston, 1979, coming to support the liberation struggle in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in Angola. Why? Because of the humanitarian vibration in their heart. Jan was trying to blow up a police station with a Molotov cocktail and blew the tips of his fingers off. Now, I'm not saying this to justify Dick killing police officer Philip LaMonaco. I'm not saying that to say this. I'm saying that to say that when people see injustices, and they are of different ethnic persuasions or cultural persuasions, and they come to address the injustice, they come to address the injustice, put aside hatred, animosity, and distrust, because humanitarianism is based on love. It's based on love. So Jan hooked up with Dick, and they going through out New England, Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, Rhode Island, Connecticut, robbing banks. Robbing banks. And the authorities labeled the United Freedom Front as a terrorist organization. Now pull up give me some more commentary, Amar. I want to send another video to you. I want to send another link to you. I think I sent it already. Pull up the second one. I think I sent you one. I think I sent two back to back.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, pull that up, please. And we're going to open up for commentary in a little while from the audience. But I got to send this last email to Ahmad. After I talk about this next email that I sent him.
To life and
this one?
Hang on. And I've been thinking about this production for a while, people, because this is part of my autobiography. This is part of my autobiography. Okay. Let me see now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Does that video play?
Yeah.
Play that video. I think that's the video of an
Yes,
arrest.
It talks about
Convicted cop killer is sentenced to life in prison for his role in the shooting death of a New Jersey state trooper, and he dies in a federal prison. 73-year-old Thomas William Manning was convicted in the killing of Trooper Philip LaMonaco in December of 1981. It happened during a traffic stop and gun battle on Route 80 in Warren County. It's believed another man, Richard Charles Williams, shot the trooper.
That's the name. That's Dick.
9 times, leaving him face down in the snow. Williams died in prison in 2005. Suspects were not arrested until 1985.
So from the
for law enforcement, it was
that trip was taken.
You want to play the rest of the video?
No, that's fine. That's fine. So I want to take you back to something I said a while ago when we were in the meeting for the concert. And I said that when the girl said that she wanted everybody to write their name and address and contact information on the sheet, and the Spirit spoke to me and said, don't give it to anybody but Felipe. So when Chris and Jan get busted, when Chris and Jan when Chris gets busted and Jan gets away and fires off the shots at the state trooper, and I had that argument with them coming back from Epps, Alabama, and I told them if we had gotten busted, they would kick everybody's door in. Well, when Chris got arrested and Jan got away, guess what they did? They kicked in everybody's door up in Boston. The only reason why they didn't kick in Felipe's door was because Felipe was in Venezuela on a Fulbright scholarship studying. The only reason they didn't kick my door in Wyandanch was because my information was with Felipe. When the Spirit spoke to me, that Spirit had the foresight to tell me, keep it within you and Felipe, because everybody's door got kicked in. So now, pull up that last email that I sent you, because I'm gonna share with you what you just said. It says Hunt.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this email is actually what Ahmad just said. The title is Hunt for Justice. This is a movie. Now, 1995. Now, I'm going from 1979 to 1995. Almost 15 years. Again, I smoked me some weed. I'm sitting on the couch in Wyandanch at the house, 67 Lincoln Avenue. That's where Ahmad came when he came to work at the school district in Wyandanch that he told you about a little while ago. And I'm looking at the opening, the beginning of this movie. And you know how they show scenes before they even tell you what the movie is, the title. So I'm looking at this movie opening up, and I say to myself, this looks familiar. The title of this movie is Hunt for Justice. It's the movie that they produced looking for the killers of State Trooper Philip LaMonaco. And the capture that you saw the news story about just now. The news story about just now. So I'm chronologically putting this together as part of my autobiography. So it can be transcribed into a book. But I wanted to share this on tape, people, in a television production. So that when you watch the Amandla concert, Amandla is a South African Zulu word that means power. Amandla, power. When you watch that, when you share it, and you see those rosters coming to the stage, and you see them lining up, and you hear Dick Gregory speaking, now you know the backstory. You know the full story. It's not just a concert that you can nod your head and tap your feet. It's the last concert that Bob Marley did in the United States before he was killed. He did one other concert and he got sick and passed away. There's also a YouTube documentary that says, I killed Bob Marley, the CIA operative that killed Bob Marley with the disease. So again, people, I want to open up the floor. Before I open up the floor for anyone that wants to comment, I just want to say there are people of all persuasions who stand against injustice. We're also going to get Zulu King Fritzen to give a report from Lugansk People's Republic before we close out. But right now, we're going to open up the floor for anybody who wants to comment. Right now, only Isma is on, and as always, you are welcome to open up your mic, Isma. Give any type of feedback or comment that you wish to share.
Okay, greetings. This is Isma in New York. And I just want to say that many of the names that Brother Makakuvu mentioned, I did have the pleasure and some of them the sadness of meeting. Dick Gregory was invited many times to the events held by Alton Maddox there in Brooklyn. So I did meet him a few times. And then in Harlem, the art gallery in the Adam Clayton Powell State Office building was the only event that was held for Dick Gregory when he passed away. And I was pretty baffled by that, why he wasn't honored or respected in Harlem, or even his name on the marquee of the Apollo and that thing. And I did have the pleasure of meeting the Queen Mother wife of Baba Olatunji. She came to the Dick Gregory event and she spoke there. And I also went to the memorial service for him at St. John the Divine Church there on 110th off Columbus Avenue. And I did have the occasion of hearing Felipe Luciano and the Black Panthers, the Young Lords, speak at the Schomburg in reference to keeping Black theater alive. So it was interesting, hearing those names again here on this conference call and having come across, quote, meeting those people or meeting them or going to events that where they were the presenters. And the story that, well, not even the story, but the drama that Brother Makakuvu just conveyed to us is really extraordinary. But Brother Makakuvu, the brother that died in prison, did he die of a natural death or was there an illness? Do you know?
From what I understand, he died of a natural death. Both Richard might have been brutalized.
Yeah.
Richard might have been brutalized because he was the trigger man on that actually fired the shots that killed Officer LaMonaco. Tom was the driver of the vehicle that was stopped. And Tom died in prison as well, but Tom died not too long, I think a couple of years ago. Dick died in 2005. Dick may not have died from natural causes because 2005, it was not too far from 1979. How much time you got left, Ahmad?
Got about 7 minutes.
Okay. Frickson, give a quick brief on update in Lugansk Republic because we need to close out in 5 minutes. In with the music so Mark can go teach class. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I hear you.
Yes, man. Oh, stay safe, brother, please.
Yeah, thank you. Have big technical problems today. Enter the Zoom meeting because, like I understand, in the errors, Zoom is our region, so we can't use Zoom and YouTube and other, these services in internet. They are blocked our area, so we now using a VPN or other some special technicals.
His connection dropped. That's all part of
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so since the situation is still worst, we still under the hard gunner of Ukrainian army or Russian peace soldiers trying to move back from our territory. These terrorists that sitting in the civil buildings of the people. So many victims. I can show you now some pictures how using the Ukrainian army, the tanks in civil near with civil buildings. They go to the buildings where the civil people live and go out these people and sitting in their rooms and trying to shut and continue war battles. So if they will win the Ukrainian soldiers people in homes and all day for so you and don't want to give up the lesson. We have
Yeah, your connection is really choppy, but kind of get the gist of what you're saying.
Yeah, from what I gathered, that's the Ukrainian military tank, and the Ukrainian soldiers who are Nazis have kicked the people out of the building and occupied their apartment. And that is the territory that the Lugansk Republic has been fighting for their independence. Lugansk Republic, when they give the news, they don't talk about the Lugansk Republic in that regard. they consider all of that Ukraine.
Yeah, they don't even show Lugansk Republic and the other country north of it on the map out here.
Right.
When they show the map.
Yeah, they also blocked us today economically, and they also blocked Russia also, so we can't use their services like Zoom, YouTube, and other services. They all blocked, so we're not try using our own local resources or try using VPN to break these limits for the internet and speak with you like I made it today.
Actually, stay safe, my brother. Stay safe, man. Our prayers and our meditations.
Thank you very much for support.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, and to speak with you again and again. Maybe we can find a good resource service where we can speak more free. Maybe it's Telegram, Messenger.
Right, definitely. All right, man. Ahmad, you ready to take us out?
Yeah, let me get the.
Gotta go teach class. Vanessa was on a movie set today, and I just want to pay homage to all those who have passed away. Tunji, Dick Gregory, Richard and Tom. Jan spent 37 years in prison. He was released recently, and I look forward to continuing our productions with the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network. I want to thank Isma for her commentary and report coming out of New York, as always. Udmar Kiyua.
Hold on. My internet is slow now, too.
So now you know the legacy of Amandla in 1979, people, is fully documented. On the Van Miller.
Power to the people.
Peace,
Power to the people. Power.
A beacon of hope, I'm blowing out smoke. I'm getting high, writing rhymes with my head to the sky, clapping at birds and giving praise. And you'll be amazed at what's displayed when the beats played. Hey yo, this rhyme slays. Any rap is irrelevant rant. This is your last chance. This is the change you've been waiting for, anticipating for. The metaphor is physical. This is why you did endure the hardship and tribulation, racism, humiliation. How can they shit on the people who truly built this nation? And I'm debating what I should bring: the axe, the ox, the beast, the dragon, or the battle cat. This ain't no battle rap. I had to leave that ghetto crap and tell the ghetto fags that being ghetto should lead to positive acts. This is the poem to tell the people who push that we gon' push back. Power to the people.
Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Cold hands and freezing feet. Across the heartbeat like a simple loop on the MPC drum machines. Eyes wide open like a hook. Looking to hunt his opponent. What a jerk. Like scavengers. Warfare the world want us to be. But I'm Egyptian. Originally black, not white. Slavery exists in my today. I know my past life. Not looking for money and jewels. Just freedom to breathe and rights to choose. Hate is a myth. Stop the evil from having his freedom and be stiff. Cause hip-hop is in him ever since he was born. My physical training was the main aim and the goal. The discrimination turned his physical dreams into a lyrical war. So let me tell you, you and your believe, love, dream, submit, commit, should fight and achieve the free human rights from the underground prison hell. And be aware, Rastafari movement is international. UNITED, RPM, Run DMC, Joker Screw, your ass, Pak Shakur. Most FK was one, Anwar Sadat, Yasser Arafat, Abdel Nasser, Luther King, and Malcolm X. These are who we are, representing on the streets. Cause positivity is the first step of peace. So get off your knees and let me hear you say, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people, power to the people. The hood niggas in me can't escape from him. Cause he grew up with me, cause he grew up in me. I know you still didn't meet the love of future husband you wish to have with me, you wish to have with me. I write you a poem to inspire your soul with my greatness. I mix my ink with the flower oil so you feel love of nature. To prove you're unreal, you need to understand my people need me. Cause the hood nigga learned love from his people. That's why the love kind of nigga you need has hard time breathing. Yeah, don't get it twisted. This is unconditional love, believe me. Power to the people. Power, power, power to the people. Power, 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 power to the people. People.
Thank you everybody for coming out. Enjoy your day. Be safe. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and love.
In the chair with Makio.